Hi, I'm Mike Lardy,
I'm Daniel Mears.
and today's video is about why Christian ministries and Christians struggle. So Daniel wanted to go with the sports analogy today, so I'm gonna hang with that. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how God's team works, and when I got put on God's team as a teenager, brand new believer, I was handed a jersey, and on that jersey it said discipleship. Number 23. And so I wore that jersey for 4 years, and tell you what, I had a blast playing that game with those guys. I got to see a lot of cool things happen in their lives, and totally an awesome experience, and one that I'll always remember. And a big win for me to celebrate today is that of those 15 to 20 guys that kind of came through my group in high school, a large percentage of them, they're walking with the Lord, and a handful of them are actually active in ministries or leading ministries. And so that was a huge win for me to be able to look back at that and say, yeah, that's what God does. That's how His team functions. And kids were growing up in their faith, and that was how it happened. So those guys graduated, and then what ended up happening to me was I switched jerseys. I didn't realize it, but I switched to discipleship jersey. And I put on another jersey, and that jersey said ministry. So small change in wording, right? Shouldn't be a big deal. Big change in winning, big time. I got busy with church tasks. Instead of developing people, I was developing programs. Big difference there. So just in the results alone, I think are the most regrettable was that I was doing things under my power, under my want, my direction, and I thought I was doing great, but I was getting tiny results, me-sized results, not God-sized results, like I was seeing before. And my big question was why. And so Daniel's going to kind of answer that a little bit.
You know, the way I think of this when we want to answer the question why do Christians struggle? Why do Christian ministries struggle? Why do Christian programs struggle? Is because oftentimes we're not doing what we were created to do. And I think back to when I was a kid and when I grew up. As I grew up, I was a baseball player. I loved the game of baseball. I loved to watch the game of baseball. I was good relatively at the game of baseball, and I stuck with it all throughout elementary school, junior high, and high school, and just absolutely loved it and thrived in it. But then later on in life, all of my buddies started playing other games like tennis and golf, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick up golf because that's what everybody else is doing, and it looks like a fun thing to do. And I can still remember the day, it's probably 10 years ago, when I went and bought my first set of golf clubs and got a great deal on clearance. And then I took the golf club straight to the golf course, and I went to the driving range, and I even paid for lessons. And for 2 years I tried to develop my golf game, and I never went anywhere with it. Embarrassing. So embarrassing that you could put a ball on a tee and swing, and the ball is standing still, and I couldn't hit it. And I relate that to what we're talking about here because I was just made to be a baseball player. I know baseball. I understand baseball. I have strengths for baseball. I have a mind for baseball, and I don't have the gifts or the patience for things like golf or tennis. And I think that's one of the reasons why I struggled trying to go from baseball to golf, and why oftentimes Christians struggle when they move into ministry or they move into programs. They oftentimes struggle or flounder because what we do is, instead of doing what we were created to do and what we were meant to do, which is to intentionally and relationally disciple other people and see the gospel spread through the world that way and see disciples grow spiritually that way, what we've done as a church and as Christians in general is we've tried to create ministries and programs and groups and things that help us to grow, but they were never God's actual design. And see, we actually have this great promise in Scripture. You know, Jesus said it himself. He said, the gates of hell cannot stand against His church. But the key words are His church. And what we've done today by creating so many different programs and ministries is we've created not His church, but we've created our church, or the me-sized church that Mike was talking about before. And so what we need to do is we need to get out of the me mold of ministry, and we need to get back into the God mold of ministry. And the church that even the gates of hell can't stand against is a disciple-making church, a church of intentional, relational disciple makers who do it God's way. And when we do it God's way, I believe we are going to be blessed. Churches are going to grow. The church as a whole is going to become relevant again instead of struggling like it is today. And so that's why I say we've got to go from a me-sized vision and a me ministry to God's design and God's way, Jesus's way. And then we'll see the church back to relevancy and back to power when we are intentionally and relationally discipling others.
Yes. And so think about your own life. Where are you at with God using you right now? Are you in struggle or are you in blessing? Are you floundering or are you flourishing? And I just want you to think about those jerseys. Which jersey have you been wearing? So think about that. Leave us a comment in the section below. We look forward to hearing from you, and also just give us a thumbs up on that video if you liked it, if you found this to be helpful. Leave us that comment. Give us a like. Everybody likes those likes, it seems to be. And so, disciple makers, you know you want this, so let's get out there this week. Let's get after it.